Hello guys. Today the lesson is adding and subtracting rational expression. So I just start from a simple question, how to add the fractions. Okay, just look at this question. Here, if you just look at the numbers here in the denominator, I have a 5 and 2, right? So the lowest common denominator is 10. So I need to make the denominator 10. So here in the first one, I multiply with 2 and 2. And here I will multiply and divide with, or I multiply the denominator and the numerator with 5, right? And then I multiply, I get 4x over 10 plus 30x over 10. And now the common denominator is 10, so it will be 4x plus 30x is 34x, and I can simplify it further because I can divide these numbers with 2, so it will be 17x over 5. So that's my answer. And here I don't have a variable in the denominator, so no restriction. Okay, so when it comes to adding and subtracting rational expressions, when you have variables in the denominator, so the first thing is we write the restriction. For example 1a, so look at the denominator, I have variable x, so the restriction is as x is not equal to 0. Now when it comes to the lowest common denominator, it's x and x squared. I'll always go for the highest exponent of x, so the lowest common denominator is x squared. So now in the first fraction, I have an x in the denominator, so make it x squared. I will multiply and divide with x, right? So now I get 2x plus 6, and here is x squared plus 6 over x squared. So the common denominator is x squared. I can leave it like that, or I can just factor 2, so it will be x plus 3 over x squared. So that's my answer. Okay, next question is, here look at the common denominator. It's 3x squared and 5 here. So the common denominator is 15x squared. Okay, now to have the common denominator, I will multiply the first fraction with, I have 3x squared, so I have to make 15, so I multiply with 5 and 5, divide and multiply. For the next one, I have only 5 here, so I multiply with 3x squared and 3x squared. Okay, so I got, from here I got 25 over 15x squared. For that I got 21x squared over 15x squared. Okay, the common denominator is 15x squared. In the numerator I have 25 minus 21x squared. And that's my answer. I can't simplify it any further. Next question. I have two variables in the denominator, x and y, so these are my restriction. X is not equal to 0, y is not equal to 0. And the lowest common denominator is 3x and y squared, right? So in the first expression, I need to have y squared. I multiplied it with and divided with y. For the second one, I have y squared, but 3x is missing. So I'll multiply, divide with 3x. Okay, now I got the second one. I will get 15x over 3x y squared. And now I just write 3xy squared 6y minus 15x. I can simplify it further by writing it like I can take 3 as a common factor, so 2y minus 5x divided by 3xy squared, and I can cancel out that 5. So my final answer will be 2y minus 5x over xy squared. Okay, next question is, again we have to add and subtract rational expression. So here just look at that. The highest exponent of t is t4, so the lowest common denominator had t4, and if you look at the numbers, it's 2 and 5, so the common denominator will be 10. Same thing I did, I multiplied and divided every term to have the common denominator. For example, in the last one is 3 over 5t, so I multiply it with 2t cubed divided by 2t cubed. And so that we get 6t cubed over 10t4. Now I have the same denominator, so my answer will be, I just add the numerators, 30 plus 5t squared minus 6t cubed. And that is my answer. I already had the restriction that t is not equal to 0. Next question. Here I have if you just look at the last term, it's m. I can write m over 1, right? And the variables in the denominator is mn, so m is not equal to 0, n equals not equal to 0, and the lowest common denominator will be m times n. Okay, so here I multiply this one with n and n. For the second one, I multiply divided with m. For the third one, because I have 1 here, so I multiply with mn divided by mn. So now I got n squared over mn plus m squared over mn minus m squared n over mn. And now the common denominator is mn, so n squared plus m squared minus m squared n. And that is my final answer. Okay, for this question, first you write the restrictions. So x is not equal to -4, x is not equal to 6. And now, because I have these two factors, x plus 4 and x minus 6, they doesn't have any common factor, right? So to get the lowest common denominator, I will just multiply them, right? So x plus 4, it is 4. X plus 4 times x minus 6. So here I will multiply with x minus 6, x minus 6. Make sure you put the brackets. And here I will multiply with x plus 4, x plus 4. Okay, and now I have the common denominator. I multiply these two and these two, and now I simplify, so it will be, I multiply here like that, so, and then here I multiply, so I will get 9x squared plus 12x. So I added them and I got, oh, it's not 9, it's 3. This is 3x squared. And now I collected the like term, so I get 10x squared plus 30 over x plus 4, x minus 6. And that is my answer. Or I can just write it 10 as a common factor. So x squared plus 3 divided by x plus 4 and x minus 6. That's my answer. For the next question, okay, so here, if you just look at the denominators, it's a binomial, it's a trinomial. So first I need to factor that. So this is a difference of square, so the factors will be 2x minus 1 and 2x plus 1. For that, when I factor that, I'll get 2x plus 1 times 2x plus 1, so I can write 2x plus 1 squared. And now, if you have to write the common denominator, so first just look at the restrictions. So for the restriction from here, from here and here, t is not equal to plus minus 1 over 2. Okay, now to common denominator, okay, I have a 2x plus 1 whole square here, right? And I have a 2x plus 1 here. So the lowest common denominator will be 2x plus 1 whole square and 2x minus 1, this term. So that is my lowest common denominator. So here I will multiply with 2x plus 1 square divided by 2x plus 1 square. And here I multiply divide with 2x minus 1, 2x minus 1. And now I just wrote them together and I then simplified, I expanded, multiply using the FOIL, and I got this as my final answer, right? Okay, for this question is also I've done in the review, so you can watch that video. Okay, the last question is a word problem. Okay, so here the question is, Fred's final mark in an online course was determined entirely by 2 exams. The midterm exam was out of X mark and worth 25%. The final exam was out of 2X marks and worth 75% of his final mark. Fred scored 40 marks on the first exam, 60 on the second exam, and you have to determine the value of X if Fred earned final of 50% on this course. Okay, so if you just look at the midterm exam, that is out of X, and he got 40 on that, so it will be 40 over X. Second exam is he got 60 and the exam is out of 2X, right? And now just look at first exam worth 25%. 25% mean 0.25, right? 25% mean 0.25, or I can write 1/4. The second exam worth 75%. 75% mean 0.75, or I can write 3/4, right? Okay, so the first exam is, the worth of first exam is 25%. 25% mean 25% times 40/x. So I can write 1/4 times 40/x. The second exam worth 3/4. So I can actually multiply here 1/4, and the second exam worth 75%. So that will be 3/4. Okay, and now I just simplify it before I add. Okay, and here if you have to write this, okay, and the final mark is 50%. So this equals his midterm plus final is 50%. 50% means 0.50. Okay, and the restriction is x is greater than 0. X is the mark, right? X cannot be negative and x cannot be 0. Okay, now I just, before I add them, I can simplify. So here 40 divided by 40 and 4, they can be simplified. 4 divided by 4 is 1, 40 divided by 4 is 10. So here 4 times 1 and 4 times 15 is 60. So I get 10/x plus 45/2x equals 0.5. Oh, I don't write this equal sign. Okay, and now I have to go for the common denominator, which is 2x, right? So I multiply this with, multiply and divide with 2. So I got 20/2x plus 45/2x. That equals 0.50. Okay, and now from here, what I will do is, do it here. So now I have the common denominator, which is 2x, right? So I can write 2x, and I've added these two. This is 65 equals 0.50. And now I cross multiply. So 1 times 65 and 2x times 0.5. So it's 65 equals 2x times 0.5 is just x. And that is my answer, because they were asking determine the value of x. Okay, so that was the last question for this section. Thank you so much.